Hello everyone, today we discuss Python loops. First we discuss what is loop, why it is used. So a loop is a programming structure that repeats a block of code multiple times. Instead of writing the same code again and again, we use loops to reduce the size of the code. Okay. Um, in loops we have two types. First one is for loop and second one is while loop. Okay. First we discuss for loop. What is for loop? A for loop is used to iterate over a frequency. For example, that frequency may be a list or string or range of numbers. Okay. Uh, for loop goes through each element in the frequency one by one. It return all elements in the list. Okay. Let's we see one example for loop. First we see without for loop. Without for loop, what happened? Okay, without for loop we print everything one by one, like s1, s2, s3, like this. Okay. uh, like we need to print everything s1, s2, s3. We see, for example, we want to print 1 to 5 numbers, right? Without loops we need to print everything, I mean every number, like using print statement. Without for loop we need to print every element by using print statement. It takes so much time and memory, so we use for loop. With for loop, okay, instead of writing every print statement we use for loop. Okay. um, I take one list, like think numbers list, numbers list 1 2 3 4 5, and write a for loop for I. Why use I? To iterate, print each and element in numbers I, and range, no range, directly we give numbers list because we have list, right? So for I in numbers. Okay. And print I. See, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, it is print 1 2 3 4, total 5 numbers without printing every element, like we using a for loop, so it is easy to print all the numbers. For example, we take another example using for loops. Okay, next example. For example, we take like students list, students, like any name you want to take, like s1, s1, s2. Names we compulsory use strings, is 3, right? And write a for loop to iterate all students numbers. Sorry, here we use students, right? Print I. It prints all the students names like S1, S2, S3. Alright. Okay, fine. Next we see while loop. Okay, why we use while loop and what is while loop? A while loop repeats the code until the condition is satisfied or true. It iterates multiple times the statement until the condition is true or satisfied. Okay, and different between the for loop and while loop is while loop is it not check the it check while loop is check the condition. Okay, and coming to for loop it not checks the any condition, because in for loop we not write any, we write but now we cannot write any conditions. So for loop means it repeat multiple times, iterate multiple times. Okay, but in while loop we not iterate multiple times, we iterate but until the condition is false. Okay, we see the example for while loop. While loop is iterate until the condition is false. Okay, first I take anything like C1 is 1 because it starts with count starts from 1. Okay, and we need to write one condition, count C1, sorry, count is 1 and C1 greater than equals to 5. Okay, we write one condition, C1 less than equals to 5 and C1 is equals to 1. Initially we take C1 is in start initially we take the C1 is 1 and in condition we take C1 less than and equals to 5. And print statement, print C1. Okay, and C1 plus equals to 1, we increase the C1 because it will be executed until the condition is false or the condition is satisfied. Okay, to see what happened, I run the code. Sorry, it is C1 actually. Okay, see, initially we in C1 is 1 and it checks the condition 1 less than and equals to 5, right? The condition is right, so it prints C1. C1 means 1 and increase the C1. Okay, that's why C1 is equals to, now it is 2 and again checks the condition 2 less than and equals to 5, condition is satisfied, I mean condition is satisfied and true, and print C1 and again the C1 increase 3, it checks again the condition and prints C1 and again the condition is, I mean again the print statement is true and again the C1 will increase 4. Now C1 is 4. Again the condition is checked and print C1 again, C1 increase. Now C1 is 5. Write 5 less than less than or equals to 5. This condition also satisfied because 5 equals to 5. I mean now C1 is 5. 5 equals to 5. The condition is true. Okay, print C1 and print 5. Again C1 increase. Now C1 is 6, right? Now 6. Now 6 less than and equals to 5. The condition is false. False, right? That's why it stops the loop. Okay, it not print this C1. Okay, this is the while loop. It iterate multiple times until the condition is false. Now here the condition, our condition is false. That's why it stops looping. Okay, this is the while loop example. And if we take, now we see another topic, I mean break statement. Why we use break statement and why and what is break statement, we see. Break is actually, it is one of keyword, so we cannot use it in variable names as break, continue, because it is a keyword. We cannot initialize the keyword as a variable name. Okay, right? Break is a keyword and it is used to exit the loop. For example, we see one example, then we get more clarified. Numbers is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and we write a loop. If I write one if condition, if I is equals to true, break. Okay, print, I see what happened. Okay, numbers 1, it prints 1 because why? We initialize the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and write a loop, and we write also one condition. If I is equals to 2, it breaks. First it check it, first it rate 1, and I is equals to 1, not it is I is equals to, in it iterate first I is equals to 1, it go to if condition, I is equals to 1, right? I is equals to not 2. If I is equals to 2, it breaks. That's why it go to directly print I means 1, and second iteration I is equals to 2, it checks the condition. If I is equals to 2, break, it break. Okay, if we take I is equals to 4, it prints 1, 2, 3 because 4 is the last element, so whenever 4 is came, it stops the iteration. 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, and next we go to continuous statement. Why it also one keyword that skips the current iteration and move the next iteration. Okay, right? For example, we see here, we take I in break statement. If we take 2, right? If we take 2, it stops, it prints the 1 and stops the execution. Okay, in break statement. But in continuous statement, if we write continuous, it first print 1 and skip that second element and move to the next iteration, means 3 4, right? Okay, see the output. Yeah, 1 3 4. It only skips the iteration 2, because if I is equals to 2, continue, it only skips the second iteration and move to the next iterations. Okay, right? I hope this is useful. So thank you for watching.